Hey everyone! So today I'm going to do two Miniverse SPA balls. I'm going to be honest, I was never that excited for these when I first saw that they were coming out with them, mostly because I don't love that they're usable and my miniatures, I like to make them and display them and have them, and I don't really know how this is going to go over. I mean, it's soap and stuff like that. It's not like it's things that are going to expire, but also like bath bombs, it could crumble. I don't know. So this, we'll just see what I end up getting and how they last because I didn't bring my scale with me. I believe that somebody has found some possible numbers on these, but my balls had nothing. I could not find a single erased nothing, not at all. I just grabbed two random ones and we'll see how they turn out. Hopefully they're different. I really want the jars. That's the part that I think is the coolest, but it's the only thing I'm really hoping for is the jars and also that they're two different things. My Target also did have the mini brands retro and plants, but I feel like those plants are really large and they're going to be completely out of scale with what I have. So I'm just waiting on those to see if I can decide whether I do want some. So that is the nice thing about them having that display attached that people always steal, is that then you can see how big they are. I do find it funny that for like weeks to months before these were actually released, people were posting pictures of them that they'd found to order on AliExpress, and like everyone's telling them, those don't look real, that looks so fake. That looks nothing like the other balls, which is true, the design looks kind of like a knockoff in comparison, but I mean, there were a bunch of people saying like, no, these are real. They're coming out with them. So it was really funny how different it was. Okay, so I did weigh these. However, I didn't get the audio from my recording. I accidentally set my camera to slow-mo, so I can't actually get the measurements because they weren't on screen. I just read them off. But they were very similar, the two balls. They were almost the exact same weight, and that really scared me. So these do have the ingredients listed on them. However, the ingredients are not a hint. It has every possible ingredient for all the different balls listed on the outside, and then also a more detailed list in this little packet, but it's still every possible thing. Oh my gosh, I forgot that these came off so nice. Like the tear strips on these came off so much better than any other Miniverse I've done. I don't know what they changed, but I think they finally like got the serration just right. I do like the color of this little cup top. It's pretty cute. Okay, and I can see right there already that I have bath bombs because that would be a bath bomb mold. Yeah, and a bath bomb powder. It's yellowy. So let's just look at the packet and see what all the options are. Oh, the details or the instructions are quite a bit more detailed than their normal ones, which is nice. And so it looks like there are 5 different colors slash scents of bath bombs. There's 2 soaps and 3 sugar scrubs. So statistically, it would be quite likely that these are both bath bombs. This baggie, this cute little bag says get fizzy with it, and a big mixing bowl, and a cute little loofah, which this is another thing that I was kind of excited to get. Like I knew, even though I wasn't super interested, I wanted to get one ball at least to get the tub and the tray and the little loofah. At least I have those. And there are the bath bomb molds. They're a little bit different than the ones I use on real bath bombs. They're quite substantial. Have a spectacular day, and the little son with his cute little arms is having a bath in a rubber ducky. And here is the bath tray and the bath dildos that are the feet. These bath trays are super cute. I was really excited when I saw those in the product photos. These, I have been completely confused as to how these got past their like product testing phase. Like nobody looked at these and said, hey guys, I think we should redesign these a little bit, or maybe rose gold isn't the color for this because, you know, these are dildos. Like, That is absolutely what they are. Even when they're on the tub, they still kind of look like it. But there is that. And then this appears to be utensils, and it shows like a spoon, a stirrer, a like guillotine cutter for soap, and I get a spoon and a spatula stirrer that's kind of a fake wood color, matches the bath tray. This little package is like a scent or a bath oil thing. It's a scent, bath bomb scent, and it is green apple. So yes, we saw the yellowish bath bomb stuff at the beginning, so it's definitely the green apple one, which I do like. There are 3 pink purpley bath bombs, so at least if I'm getting duplicates, the green or the blue is, at least I'll get a variety and not like 2 pink bath bombs that are slightly different pink. And this newspaper has the tray in it. And it's like the ones that come with the lifestyle, but this one is definitely spa themed. It's really cute. And it has a bunch of little, like the headlines are all real, and it has like a word or two at the beginning of each sentence before it goes into lorem ipsum. Yeah, it basically has the most amount of puns that you could possibly shove into one thing all together, which is really cute. I like a pun, so winner. Okay, so these packets, we have the fizzy powder, 2 packets of it, and 2 packets of bath bomb powder. At first I wasn't exactly sure, but this is a window to the inside powder, so you can see what one you have. And it matches the loofah, so I wasn't sure when I first pulled out the loofah if that was going to be the case, but it seems to be. And here is the tray that came in the newspaper. They all appear to come with the same tray, all the same color. So it shows using 16 drops of the scent to start. And this is going to be like the binder because everything else is dry. And it shows you using some kind of a dropper. Well, I don't have, the lid doesn't have a dropper in it. So I just kind of poured some and I don't know that I got enough. It felt like it wasn't enough. So honestly, by the end, I had added all of the scent liquid to this first batch because it has you do it in 2 batches. So you're doing 2 balls at a time because you only have 2 molds, which is why you get 2 packets of each. In the molds, they don't touch in the middle, so that's how you get that like middle rim design that they have on there. Peeling off the packaging, and then I'll just kind of, as I went, if you pour slow enough, you will be able to get like each drop out at a time. And if I had been patient and thoughtful, that would have been fine. But also I know that I have more different varieties of scent liquid in my soap box that I can use to make the others if I feel like it. Yeah, there were like 5 drops in there, I think. I didn't look at how full the bottle was before I started pouring because the bottle's so dark, I didn't think I'd be able to see. But you can if you look closely. So I still would have been able to even eyeball halfway if I had, planned ahead. I didn't watch anybody's videos on these before I did this. I hadn't paid any attention, so I kind of winged it. But so after you put the liquid part in, you add the bath bomb powder and you just mix it together. So once the bath bomb powder and the scent liquid are fully mixed, you add the fizzy powder, which I'm assuming is like citric acid or something. I believe that's what I put in my bath bombs when I make them. But that's partly why you want to put the liquid in with the first part and mix it in so that it's not liquid when you put it in the fizzy part that will react with water. However, I did add more liquid after mixing all 3 things together, and it didn't cause an issue. Like it was a small enough amount of drops that it wasn't a huge deal. I didn't notice anything happening. And then after it's all mixed up together, you've got your whole ingredient set all ready to go, and it feels like it's not just dry powder. You pack it into your 2 molds. This is the part where I did make a decent amount of mess because, you really have to fill it up. Even the image on the instruction shows it kind of like heaping over the rim, which cool, but I I had a hard time with it. I did find that if you put it in, kind of pack it down a little bit, put it in, kind of pack it down a little bit, it helps you not overspill the top. And then just put the lid on and pop the lid off. And if it still doesn't look like a really good dome, you put the lid back on and try again. So I am letting those ones set while I open this other packet. And once again, the tear strips are working out real great. I am super excited about how satisfying these ones are compared to normal. This one on the inside, I was just going real fast and the shape of the ball kind of messes you up, but I didn't have to tear my nail like I sometimes end up doing. Nothing. It was great. So from the outside, I don't see any molds, so that's kind of a good sign that it might be different because the weights were very similar. Oh, please be different is what I'm thinking. Okay, we have another flavor scent. Oh, Superstar. This is where we can see that it's looking different. It says SPA. Have a spectacular day. That's the same design as the other one. I think it's my favorite design because he's so cute with his tiny little hands. And we have soap base. So this is definitely different. This is the soap. So no, I didn't get the sugar scrub, which is what I wanted the very most. But I do like this little set. It looks cute. It'll be fun to experiment with. So I'm gonna open up this first. It looks like the tray, and it comes with two newspapers to hold this one, I guess. And they are exactly the same as the other one, which is to be expected. I mean, what are they gonna do? Make a different newspaper design for each one of these? That would be a little excessive. But cool, but excessive. So this looks like the same tray as the sugar cookies that I have. This one says Soapstar, and it is the soap mold. So it has the silicone soap mold, and it has the fake wood looking plastic piece that holds the mold in place so that it doesn't stretch out, and then also afterward gives you the guide to cut it straight and even, hopefully even. And then the little flat thing with the handle is to pack it in, I believe. So you put the silicone thing in, you put your soap in there, and then you flatten the top out and pack it in with that little lid thing. So there are the two soap colors. Here's our Have a Spectacular Day packet. It's a little rubber ducky. And that one has the tray, which this tray's slightly darker. This is a different color of tray. I like that. And our very special toys. This one comes with two. I wish the other one came with two so that it was already pre-separated for me. And these are a peach flavor. And here are the mixing bowls. It does come with two. One has a little lid, and this little loofah is such a pretty color. I think I like this one the best so far. And by so far, I mean I think I'm only getting these two packets, so the best. And the bowl with the other one was like a silver fake metal, and these ones are clear. They're pretty big because they're, mixing bowls. They're not really like a display part of the set, but I feel like I can find a way to reuse them with my other stuff. And this lid is pretty nice. We'll just stack those over to the side while we finish. And these things are surprisingly soft. I feel like the peach one is slightly softer than the yellow one, and I don't know that I can prove that, but kind of feels like it. And then the little utensil packet, which we should get at least this little soap guillotine and some kind of stirrer. Yeah, we got the stirring spatula, and they all have that kind of fake wood detail color. And so I am hoping that this soap final product, the reason I was the least interested in this is because on their Instagram page, they had a promotional picture and it literally looked like it was kinetic sand. Like looked like it was falling apart. It did not look good. So we'll see how that turns out. I honestly don't think I want to use this cutter. It's kind of dull. You know, it's a piece of plastic. It's not actually sharp at all. So I may try to find a utility razor and see if that helps prevent it from just like crushing it apart and, you know, actually cuts it apart. Oh, and here's a detail I missed before. The bathtub has a cute little molded drain on the inside that I think that if I painted metallic would be really cute. So I may end up doing that as well. I feel like having two tubs is not really necessary for me display-wise, so one of these might end up going to my kid. Maybe they'll use them for Barbie dog baths or Chelsea baths, who knows? They're always into water play. Here's the difference in color between the two bath trays. I do like the darker one better because it contrasts with the trays that come with the actual items. See how good that looks? Both of the trays are that lighter color, so it really doesn't matter which one I put where. One of them still matches, which I really like the contrast. So cute. The bath bomb kit did come with enough to do a whole nother set of the bath bombs, so another two. However, I need to go find my other bath scents to make it because I used all of it for the two. Um, which again, I don't know how this would have turned out if I'd only used half. They might have been a little bit less solid. All right, so let's look at the soap instructions. All right, so you put the liquid in, you put the color in, you mix it around, you rub it in your hands into a ball, you put it in the bowl and cover it. And then you do the same thing again, except you don't put the lid on because there's only one lid, so that should just say repeat steps 1 through 3-ish. And then you rub the two together to make it marbly. Looks like it wants you to rub it for 5 minutes or leave it for 5 minutes. I don't really know. And then you shove it into your mold. Then you leave your mold for 30 minutes. And then you take it out. You put it into the little cutter and you cut it. And then you've got it all done. So this one does have a much quicker amount of like set time. Slower than resin. Okay, so I am immediately more comfortable with this kit because the liquids come pre-separated. And yes, these bottles are quite a bit of like material to put two in. So that seems actually wild to me that they did that for the soap one. I also think that it needs more liquid. Like I don't think that the original bottle I got for the bath bomb was as full, even close, as what one of these bottles had. Like that's a lot of liquid in this bowl. So I will start with the pinkish one. Oh, no, I should probably put it in the bowl I already started. That would make sense. I'm just going to dump it in, make sure I get it out of all the corners. Grab my little stirry spatula and mix it around. And it's kind of like a smashing motion at first just to get the powder down to the liquid and then mix it together. It starts to clump pretty quickly, which is good. Well, honestly, I do wonder what the thought process was between like, this is already supposed to be for, you know, older kids to teens and adults. Why not just do melt and pour? Like, you put it in the microwave, you add your color and your scent. It would be a lot less messy, in my opinion, but I'm also a huge mess. Like, I always make a mess with powders. So, maybe it's just me. Okay, and after it is somewhat combined, I can just pick it up with my fingers and start smooshing it on my hand. So I'm not worried about what's in the bowl right now because this picks itself up pretty well, kind of like, you know, Play-Doh or clay. And so I'm going to smush this ball all together and then pick up all the extra pieces and incorporate them as well. Yeah, and it's kind of like dough. When it's in the bowl, it doesn't look like it's quite gonna get there, but as soon as you start actually smushing it in your hands and like kneading it, it very quickly becomes the texture that it seems like it should be. And it is, in comparison to the picture that they posted that looks like kinetic sand, this doesn't feel like kinetic sand. This feels a lot more cohesive. Like it doesn't feel like if you set it down, it would just slowly slump. So that's good. And this is where I decided to put the lid underneath the bowl, and it worked out really well for me. I can't believe I went this long without doing it at all, because it seems pretty obvious now that that would be a great option. Pour in the yellow and then just mix it the same way as I did with the pink. Okay, so here are the two balls of different colors that I have. So I'm just going to squish them together and kind of twist and pinch and rotate. Try to get the colors to mix together without actually blending together, because I don't want some kind of a, orangey color. I want you to still see the two distinct hues. And I kind of make a ball, and any part that seems like it has too much of one color, I just kind of pull up and pinch and twist and then squish back into it. And that is looking pretty okay. So I'm going to pull over my mold, and just because I'm not exactly sure how well this is going to compress in there, I'm going to do my best to kind of shape it into like a rectangular loaf so that I can just push it in and then flatten it rather than having it possibly, having some areas that aren't quite squished together on the edges. Because once we cut cross sections, pretty much everything's going to matter. So I'm flattening out the top with this. There is a little bit more soap than the top, so it does overflow a tiny bit. So I'm rubbing the edges down. And because this is the only soap kit I plan on getting, I mean, if they come out with a way to figure out for sure which ones have sugar scrubs, I'll pick up one more ball. But I'm not just getting another random one. I don't want any more soap or bath bombs. This is the one I need to experiment with if I want to. I'm going to do some embeds in the top. And I'm not sure that these will stick long term. They might need some glue to help them out, but at least they'll have an indent where I can add them back in. So I'm looking at the lines, the cut lines, so that I know where each bar of soap will be, and I am adding little pieces to each one. So I'm going to end up using the strawberries, the blueberries, and the shiny mustard seeds, because in the mustard seed bottle there are shiny ones and not shiny ones, and that is what I will add to the top of these. It says to leave it for 30 minutes. I left it for quite a few hours just because I had nothing, like no reason to do it earlier. All right, so let's see how easily this will come out of the silicone. The silicone comes out of its base pretty easily, and the silicone stretches pretty well, so as long as it holds its shape, yep, it popped out nicely. The bottom is a little bit rounded in those corners, but that's okay. So now here is the problem with what it comes with. Look at how thick the edge of that guillotine cutter is. It is way too thick. It's just going to smash these divisions, and I do not want that. I don't want it to destroy my soap. I'm going to use a utility knife. So first I thought about using an X-Acto knife. It was not long enough. Even if I cut it from one side and then the other side, I would probably end up with it not being a straight across cut. So I did find this utility blade. It is straight out of a package. It's not been used, so it's very sharp. And it is a little bit difficult to line up both sides because the soap is taller than the guides. So unfortunately, I had to stand up to do this, which then led to my hair falling in front of the camera. So you can't actually see me cutting it, but I am just taking the blade and pushing it down in each area that it has an indent. However, these guides are also really wide because of the guillotine cutter that they have is so wide that my soap isn't exactly even. Some of them are much smaller. Also, once you cut it, it pushes the soap outward because the silicone mold isn't there anymore, so the soap is also slightly smaller than this overall mold. So while cutting, one of my strawberries came out. The soap it's solid, but it's still soft So like if you pushed on it, it would fall apart. Like I don't know how you would possibly use this as actual soap if it's supposed to be usable because it is soft. It is hard enough to stay together for display. Like I don't think it's just going to disintegrate. So the little soap bars were actually a little bit more difficult to get out of the cutter than I thought since they weren't molded in there or anything. Once I could get the first one out, it was a lot easier to lever each one to the side and then pull it out. I would not recommend tweezers to try to get them out because I think it would just squish them. It is very soft. Like you can see in that one that there are little indents from where I just tried to like push it over with the tweezers slightly and it just indented. So I tried a few different ways to display them on here. Like even the way that they have it on the package has 2 to the side and only 4 on top of the tray, but I wanted them all on the tray, so I ended up making mine look more kind of like a loaf, just a cut up loaf all set next to each other in a line. And I like it. I think it looks cute. I am glad I added the extra little stuff to the top. I think that it looks cuter. It's more soapy. And if I had planned ahead, I would have made some of the tiny whipped cream using my molds that I have to add because I think that that would have been super cute to have little dollops of whipped cream in there too. Especially if you have the like the Decoden whipped cream from the Mini Brands Create that you can squeeze. I bet that would work so well with this. That would be a really cute idea for like artistic soap set would be to come with something like that that you could squeeze all over the top of it and then put sprinkles and stuff in it and then cut just like actual soap. So are you planning on getting any of these spa ones? Have you seen them in the stores yet? And which ones would you like? Or are you just going to skip these ones completely like I honestly had kind of planned on doing? If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. I really enjoy making these videos and it's great to know that other people like them too. I know I haven't put one up in over a month. Mostly it's because I've been working on just a ton of projects all at once and also a bathroom remodel. So while I have like 4 dolls that are almost done with their restyles and repaints, I have not started editing a single one. So I'm hoping that I get some motivation to do some editing here in the next few days and then I'll be able to get at least one of the 2 that are done up. Have a great day and I'll see you next time.